Hello, beautiful one. I'm Avalaura, your life coach and intuitive consultant, and I'm really excited to talk to you about mindfulness. Such an important topic that I actually learned way back in the day without aging myself, my sophomore year at Howard University, which is really interesting because I know most people don't think that an HBCU would be teaching mindfulness. But back then, I actually stumbled across a guy who had recently converted to Buddhism and began teaching free yoga and meditation classes. And it was from that point that I learned all about yoga, meditation, breathing, the 8 pillars of yoga, and mindfulness. And I'm truly grateful for that experience, learning about these things really before the fad, because I'm not going to tell you how long ago that was, but it was quite a bit a while ago. But it really set me up to be able to really do extremely well at Howard University. As an overachiever, recovering perfectionist, practicing mindfulness and practicing yoga and meditation really allowed me to excel, to continue to get scholarships every semester, to do extremely well while I was there, doing research and all the things that I was doing to set myself up for grad school and so on and so forth. So these are tools that I have been using for a very long time. They are tools that I teach my clients. They are tools that I use personally. So I know that they work. So I don't have a lot of time, but I do want to at least, give you some foundation. And, you can always go and Google and explore and learn more. You can contact me at avalaura.com as well. But let me tell you a little bit about what mindfulness is and why it works. And so I know things kind of become faddish, right? And we hear these terms thrown around, and a lot of times we hear them, but we don't even quite understand what they mean, right? So mindfulness really just means that you are present and aware and fully tuned into this present moment. That's all mindfulness is. And so you'll hear a lot of times people talk about practicing mindfulness, but you can't really practice mindfulness because you are mindfulness, right? It's a state of being, not a state of doing. So for mindfulness, all you have to do is tune in to the present moment right here, right now. So if you're watching this video and all you're doing is watching me and you're looking at me and you're focused on the words that I'm saying and you're looking at the colors around me and all of that, you are fully tuned in right now. Now, if you're watching me, but you're thinking about what you have to do, oh my God, okay, I got to go grocery shopping and what I need to pick up. Oh, my daughter homeschooling, I got to go check on her for in a moment. Or, I got to think about what am I going to make for dinner tonight, right? So if all that's going on in your head as you're watching this, you're not being mindful. So mindfulness just means that you're fully tuned in at this moment. It is not a state of doing. It is not something that you practice. It is something that you consciously choose to be in the moment. Now, you're probably saying, hey, Valora, that sounds awesome, but how the heck do I do this when I have a million and one things going on? I struggle with balance. I struggle with self-care. How am I supposed to be more mindful? Right? Because I get clients all the time. Hey, Valora, meditation sounds great. I know about all the benefits, but I don't know how to do it. I can't meditate. And, a lot of times it's because we have these misconceptions and we really make things more complicated than they need to be. And so I like to make things simple and plain so you can get it, receive it, and practice it, put it into action, and then see results. That is my goal for you. That is my intention. And, I invite you to have your own intention, but that is my intention for you, is that it's simple, it's plain. And so there are many different ways that you can actually be more mindful, right? Because it's a state of being. And really, once you understand it, you can do this in anything, just like I described in this moment as you're watching me, how you can be mindful versus how you're not being mindful. But I would say some of the common ways that most people are mindful is through walking, even things through like sitting and meditating, and also through eating. Those are common ways. Now, what's really in common about all of those things is as you practice them, and you can choose to practice, all of them or just one. It's totally up to you. The common denominator is that you are solely focused on the activity that you're doing. So even in meditation, for example, which is commonly associated with mindfulness, is not just sort of sitting and playing a mantra in your head or, throwing on, Calm or Headspace or something and listening to somebody. I like to teach something called progressive relaxation. And in fact, I actually have a progressive relaxation that I've created, download. And a workbook that I've created as well that you can purchase on my website. But here's why it's good. Because what progressive relaxation does is it takes you through every single part of your body, right? And as you're doing that, you're focusing on your breath, but you're focusing on your head. You're focusing on your forehead, your eyes, your nose, your cheeks, your mouth. And so as you're focusing, you're moving down progressively every single part of your body. It's forcing you to be mindful and in the moment because you are solely focused on what is going on in your body. So it gives you a set focal point. You're breathing, right? But you're in the moment with what's going on in my head. What's going on with my eyes? What's going on with my cheeks? Is it stress? What's going on with my back or my shoulders? Are they hunched or, do I have the weight of the world on my shoulders? Are they relaxed? Are they calm? And I'm sitting, and in a great sitting position for me. And so doing something like that forces you to be mindful. The same thing with eating. If you're eating, I remember a long time ago when I learned mindfulness, I'm trying to remember, I was taking a class where I was in India. So I actually studied yoga and meditation in India. This was after Howard University years later. But we did a lot of different activities. And so one of them is with food. And so I remember having a piece of chocolate, right? And you know how most of us, especially Americans, right, with our food, especially if it's good, I'm a foodie, so I'm talking about me too. When we have something that we like scarf it down, like we barely even chew. We just stuff it in our mouth and keep eating, and it's like, oh my God, that was so good, and I'm still hungry. And that's because you didn't actually sit and be with your food and enjoy the process, right? And so mindfulness is just, practice taking something that you enjoy. Take a piece of chocolate, take a bar of chocolate, right? Get your favorite chocolate bar, take a bar off, and you look at it, you smell it. You look at you look at the color of it, right? How does it feel in your hand? And then when you put it in your mouth after you smell it, you chew slowly. And you really pay attention to, what does it feel like in my mouth? What is the taste? What is the texture? What is the sensation? What is the smell? You engage all of your different senses. And so you are fully tuned into this piece of chocolate. That's mindfulness. That's it. And so it's a state of being. And the reason why mindfulness is so powerful, we know all of the benefits of meditation, right? I don't have to go through all of that. But one of the things that you might not know is that 90% of illness and disease is caused by stress. 90% of illness and disease is caused by stress. Did y'all know that? Now, when you are mindful, one of the things it forces you to do, again, is to be in this moment and not have your brain all over the place, right? We have over 60,000 thoughts every single day. 60,000 thoughts. And that's on average, right? We can have more, but on average, 60,000 thoughts. Almost 80% of those 60,000 thoughts are negative thoughts. So what that means is our mind, our ego always lends to the negative. That's why we like gossip. That's why we want to hear that, other people we might be doing better than other people, right? That's why bad news travels faster than good news, right? The mind naturally lends more to the negative. That can be extremely stressful, right? We got all these thoughts going on all the time. A lot of these thoughts are negative, and every single day you're having this experience. So you're dealing with the world around you, what's going on, what's happening in your relationships, what's happening in your job, what's happening with your children, what's happening with your health and well-being, what's happening with maybe I'm not happy, I don't even like my job, I don't like what I'm doing, right? I'm not fulfilled in life, like it's got to be more to life than this. Look, I've been there, so I know you have too. Right? I can't believe I signed up for this. I worked so hard and this is what I'm doing. This is it. It's got to be more to life than this. So you're dealing with all of that. You're dealing with all of those thoughts, right? And it causes stress in your body. It causes disease and dysfunction because you're constantly focusing on all of these things that are going on. A lot of times they're negative things. And when you're more mindful, what you learn how to do is stop that. Stop it. Get out of the negative thinking, the stinking thinking, as we call it, right? And bring yourself back into this present moment. Because this present moment is the only place where you have the power to shift and move and change. You can't change the past, and you certainly can't change the future. It ain't here yet. But right here, right now is where your power is to do something about all the things that you don't like in life. And you can't do that if you don't learn to be mindful. If you don't learn to program yourself to be right here, right now, in this moment where you can own your power and create change. That is why mindfulness is so important. Yes, there's a whole host of other benefits, but that right there is what I want you to really understand, is that your power lies right here, right now, in the present. And the more you can be mindful, the more you can use your power to change your life and to create the reality that you want. So I hope that helps you to understand what mindfulness is, some practical ways that you can become more mindful, and why mindfulness is so important, is so empowering, and can truly help you in your everyday life right here, right now. So if that worked for you, if it spoke to you, if you got something out of this, I would love to hear from you. You can find me at avalaura.com. I am Googleicious, easy to find. You type in Avalaura, I will pop up with my head wrap. And feel free to connect with me on all social media. And I'd love to hear from you. How did this video serve you? What did you get out of it? And how are you going to decide, right? Because mindfulness is a decision. How are you going to decide to be more mindful in your life right here, right now? Thank you for tuning in and watching and being mindful of everything that you've heard and experienced in this video. Until next time, I wish you peace, love, and bountiful blessings. Create an amazing day.